Former President Trump challenged President Biden to another debate. He did so during a rally last night in Florida. And with some in the president's own party calling him to step aside, Trump also took particular aim at Vice President Kamala Harris.
Whatever else can be said about crooked Joe Biden, you have to give him credit for one brilliant decision, probably the smartest decision he's ever made. He picked Kamala Harris as his vice president. No, it was brilliant because it was an insurance policy.
Olivia Rinaldi joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida. Olivia, you were there at the rally. You've been to many Trump rallies. Was it notable how much more former President Trump emphasized Kamala Harris than in the past?
Oh, absolutely, Major. This is the first time I've seen Donald Trump spend a significant amount of time talking about Vice President Kamala Harris. He spent, a good portion of the speech and even in prepared excerpts that they sent to us talking about her and linking her to some really potent policy issues that are overall really indicative of this election, including immigration. As we know, the Biden administration, President Biden himself, appointed Vice President Kamala Harris to be the person who would handle the border and immigration during their first term. And last night, Donald Trump said that she's failed at those policies. She hasn't shown up at the border. And he's made that a key point, again, to really tie her to these issues that are central to this election. And you heard in that quote right there where he's talking about her being an insurance policy. That's to make the argument that she's unelectable, that if President Biden were to step aside in some form and if he were to go against Kamala Harris, she is unelectable, and he feels that he has the better position on a lot of stances like immigration and the economy.
Olivia, how would you describe the mood at that rally?
That was an interesting night. I think there was a lot of anticipation with Senator Marco Rubio there as a potential vice presidential candidate. There were a lot of Latinos for Trump signs that I saw, and a lot of the speakers in the pre-program were speaking Spanish to them and to these voters, trying to, gather that support, galvanize them, and get them out. A lot of anticipation hanging over that very hazy, humid evening of us on the golf course there in Doral, Florida. But I think overall, it was a typical Donald Trump speech aside from those attacks on Vice President Kamala Harris. But I am looking forward to the one on Saturday in Pennsylvania. He'll be in Butler, Pennsylvania, and that's just about an hour away from the Ohio border. And, we're just a couple of days away from the Republican National Convention that's coming up. And we are expected to get that vice presidential announcement fairly soon. It could come at any moment. We're all on standby. We're all waiting for that announcement to come by. So I'll be watching to see who shows up at that rally on Saturday.
Olivia, based on my conversations with those in the Trump world, it seems down to Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance for that slot as the running mate for former President Trump. Do you pick that up as well?
I am. That's similar to what I'm hearing. Senator Rubio there last night in Doral, that's kind of his backyard. He's from Miami. He was just 15 minutes away. So it's kind of an opportunity to prove his strength there in Florida, even though it's no longer a battleground state. It's trending towards, a very firm red state. It was interesting to see him there, see his political prowess, and see how he was able to connect with the crowd and see how that works. The MAGA crowd, as you know, Major, from all the rallies you've been to, they're very loyal to Donald Trump. So picking a new vice president, this is key to them. This matters a lot to them. That's part of the energy we felt there last night. And I also, about Senator J.D. Vance, someone I'm hearing, he's very close with Donald Trump Jr. And that's something that I think is part of the consideration there of the people who have Donald Trump's ear.
Olivia Rinaldi in West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you so very much.